So I hope this slide is visible, right?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. So this slide I prepared some 3 or 4 years before when I used to take these classes for this Indian Council of Astrological Services, Chennai. So
Mhm.
I was not their in-house faculty and all because in-house faculty is is a different. You have to be within the rules of that organization. So I went as an
Mm.
external faculty for them, and I took the class for them. But now I am like too much busy and too much engaged with my work, and they are taking online direct classes. So direct class I am not able to go and take now. So that time I prepared this slide. So in this 3 4 years I have updated more. Okay. So
Okay.
those things also I'll try to teach you. So as and when required, I'll give you that additional information. So you can see here in this slide, uh, around 185 is there, but this 185 itself is not sufficient. Though it may look larger, but we will cover
Yeah.
more than 300 slides. Like that means 185 plus additional informations also I'll give. Okay.
Hmm.
So before going into this course, there is something we should know about the course. This Nadi Astrology, by this time you will be knowing, Nadi means breath or pulse, in
Yes.
search of. Like that, many words are there for this Nadi Astrology, the meaning, literal meaning. Okay. So, but why this Nadi Astrology is very, very important and very interesting way, because generally in our traditional system, we will take ascendant and we will tell without ascendant we cannot give prediction. Why? Because ascendant is of 2 hours approximately duration.
Yes.
So 12
Mm.
rashis will come into 24 hours into play. Then again they will say, no, your birth time is wrong. So Navamsha is changing. Navamsha will change approximately 15 minutes. Correct. So we are not
Exactly.
able to find. Then somebody might say, no, no, we have to go for D60. It will change even in seconds or something like that. They will say. So these are the things. Even if you go to that minute level, also the level of prediction is very, very not that much clear. Okay. So, but when you come into Nadi astrology, forget about the divisional chart or Varga chart. Okay.
Mm.
Just with the Rashi chart, that too without ascendant, we are able to give amazing predictions. This is what
Exactly.
shocked everyone. Okay. Even R.G. Rao himself has told that in Briganandi Nadi, we don't use this ascendant.
Ascendant. Yeah.
And advanced Nadi, of course, I am taking Dasha Bhakti and minor progressions, Nadi longevity, okay, Kakshaya Ashtaka Varga relevant to Nadi, okay, and these things will fine tune the results. But here, you will study complete Briganandi Nadi and introduction to Nadi Palmistry, Nadi Vastu, and I also will introduce you to uh, essential numerology, Kashyapa Nadi Muhurta, all those things, transits and progression of all the major 4 planets we will study here. Now,
Okay.
we have to understand one background knowledge of this. So, what is that background knowledge of this? You may ask me. That is a very, very valid
Hmm.
question. Means this Brigan and the Nadi, what we are studying, basically we have to thank Mr. R.G. Rao only. Okay,
Yes.
because he was the one who brought this into the limelight. It was not R.G. Rao who discovered this, but
Yeah.
R.G. Rao is the person who brought this thing into the limelight. So he was basically a palmist with knowledge of a traditional Parasari system. But
Yes.
he says in one of his books, and I had the fortune of attending his classes also. So we are used to say, though I used to get 4 or 5 horoscopes very much accurately, and another 3 or 4 if I get wrong also, I used to sometimes blame. And whenever I used to get 5 or 6 horoscopes correctly out of 10, I used to feel I am great. And sometimes when
Mm.
I am wrong, the palmistry used to help me. Okay, but somewhere I used to have this feeling in my earlier days of astrology. There is something, okay, not that much confident for me to say. That was his words. Slowly, what
Mm.
he does is he moves to Chamarajanagar in Mysore. Okay,
Yes.
so there he works for this sometimes as a teacher, then he works as a railway employee, and he also has a friendship of few people where he comes to know they are also astrologers. So one day he goes and takes a prediction from them, and he is like very surprised they were able to predict his past very much exactly. Arjira was very much shocked. Why? Because predicting the past is very very difficult. Okay,
Yeah.
predicting the future is easy. Means why it is easy in a sense. Whatever you say to the client, you may say 5 years, 6 years events. Whether that is happening or not, the client is not able to validate it immediately. Understand? After for
Exactly. Yeah.
years it is happening, or in the meanwhile he visited another 7 8 astrologers and he doesn't remember what prediction you gave. But telling the
Mm.
past is a slightly tricky job. Why? Because the moment you tell the past, the client will immediately validate. Understand? So today, most
Exactly.
of the astrologers will not tell the past. Why? Because it's a very difficult thing. And secondly, if you ask them the past, they will tell, "Are you trying to test my knowledge?" Okay,
Mm.
Acharya Varamira has told we should not give prediction to the people who has come to test the astrologer's knowledge. Yes, that is
Exactly.
true. Okay, but that is only for a true astrologer. Okay, not for someone who has seen two videos on YouTube or three posts on Facebook and uh, using this noble profession for the sake of his selfishness. Right.
Exactly.
So, but he was very shocked. The person is able to say my past as if he has seen these events with me. Then he slowly tells to them, I also belong to a family of astrologers. My father is also a famous astrologer. But I am very shocked. How is that without even taking Lagna? You people are able to tell by past events, and whatever you said about my future also I could see it is coming true. Like that, it develops a friendship. Then because they knew like he is also an astrologer, they started to share some professional secrets of them. But Arjirao is not satisfied with all this. He wants to learn more, of course, right? So
Mm.
now you have learned Parashar, you are done, you may even know some KP or something also, but you come because you have the thirst for subject. Similarly, being
Exactly.
astrology as his own profession, that thirst for knowledge would have been more for him. So then he comes
Yeah.
to a place called Krishnagiri in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
Okay, in Krishnagiri he comes across some Nadi sources, and he also goes to Coimbatore area, and there also he finds some sources. Then finally he collects two sources. One is called Nandi Nadi, which is completely found in Tamil. Okay. Another he
Mm.
finds Brigunadi there in Tamil Nadu, which is having the Sanskrit version. By reading these things, he could understand in Nandi Nadi the complete predictions are given only on the basis of Graha Karakas. Okay. Then he
Yeah.
mixes certain Karakas, then he tries to apply for the his charts which is known to his people and his clients. Then there is no end to his happiness. He is seeing whatever he taught Karaka and he started to mix, all the results are matching. And from
Yeah.
Briganadi is taking the progression and the switch, they will call in Tamil. That means the self round of the Jupiter, Saturn, and he is able to time the events. Not even Dasha Bhukti is required. Then he understands, okay, Dasha Bhukti means from moon's position we are taking and giving the timing. But progression
Yeah.
means we are taking Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, everything. So,
Mm.
Dasha Bhukti can not be the only one way. Dasha Bhukti is taking moon's position and coming to a conclusion. But that could not be the only way. Then he realizes, then he mixes some chart from this Nandi Nadi. He mixes a few charts from Brigu Nadi, and he brings down the book called Brigu Nandi Nadi.
Mm.
This is how the first book of Brigu Nandi Nadi came to come.
Published.
And
Yeah.
but and also around if I'm not wrong, around 500 charts approximately he published it, but nowhere he wrote the logic. He just gave only the translation. Understood? Whatever was there in
Okay.
Tamil and Sanskrit, he translated into Kannada and English. Nowhere in the books, even today, though they are available freely as a PDF copy, Brigunandi Nadi, you will be not able to understand on what basis these predictions were given.
Mm.
That is the where the need of the teacher comes. And this is not something in new rule. Even in books which are not Nadi books, there also these rules were already there in Tamil Nadu. There is a Tamil version of one book called, if I am not wrong, Jadaka Chintamani.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the Jadaka Chintamani, there is a one chapter called Karaka Nigandu.
Mm.
Okay. In Karaka
Dictionary of
Nigandu,
Carpets.
they have mentioned for a planet in front and back, that is 2 and 12. uh,
Hmm.
opposite and trines. Okay, if a bad planet is posited, or if a shadow planet like Palm, that is Rahu and Ketu, is posited, then the karaka of that particular planet will get destroyed. Understood? That is what R.G. Rao
Okay.
formulated from there. So this was not something newly introduced. Like people may saying, what is this Nadi? This is against the traditional system. No, this is as old as the existing system. If Parashari is, if you think is old, Bhrigu is even more older than Parashara. He is a putra of Brahma, right? And Nandi is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Nandi Keshava is also very very old Muni. So this is as old as Parashari system. In fact, more older. But these rules are already existingly there. But we fail to realize them because we didn't get opportunity to study
Exactly.
all. It is not possible for a person to study all the different languages on astrology and to come to a conclusion. Okay, so basically what has happened in, it is already there in Karaganigande, a planet in 212, that is front and back, and in trinal directions and in opposite direction. If it is a good planet, it will enhance the karaka, and if it is a bad planet, it will destroy the karaka of that particular planet. It was already
Hmm.
there. Fine. Now, this is all about how this R.G. Rao's book, everything and all came to this thing. Now, this Nadi means, I told breath, pulse,
Yeah.
in search of.
Yes.
Why I gave the word pulse? In search of something that can. Pulse means, for example, in Ayurveda system of medicine, Siddha system of medicine, they will take your pulse. Okay?
Yes.
And they will say your vata dehi,
No, that's
pitta
it.
dehi,
Hmm.
kapha dehi, or vata pitta, kapha pitta, mixture of the this,
Good.
like that they will write. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this the same, the thing is also given to the planets also. For example, sun is a pitta planet, right?
Hmm.
And Saturn is a Vayu planet. Like that, the same thing is there. So when I was doing my Nadi Palmistry, okay, Nadi Palmistry I did very late only after my Guru Sivadas and Ravi passed everyone. Then I started to do when I was doing my MA Astrology 2015 or something. I completed. At that time I in Tanjavur I met one person because I very frequently used to visit GOML Chennai, Tanjavur Saraswati Mall, like that I used to visit. Then Jivanadi practitioners in Tanjavur I used to visit, Tirunelveli, where I used to see these Mantra Nadi people, Tantra Nadi people. I have different experiences. Okay.
Okay.
And when I studied Panjapakshi from Sundara Vardacharya and all those things, I used to meet different people. Then I met one person. I asked him like I want to learn how to cast the planets from the palm chart. Okay.
Yeah.
If I see the palm, the birth chart should be there. And this is not something my thought. It is already done by this person, R.G. Rao. He has written books like Samudrika Sudha and Natal Planets from Palm Chart, Destiny from Thumb. But the thing is, the images are not very, very clear.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the system of palmistry we have learned in the past is something different. We all learned basically from Kirio and Benham. Those are the books we, and these books we learned. And Vivek Agnotri and Lakshmi Das. These books we have. But it's not but in those books, definitely seeing that palm, you cannot cast any planet in the chart.
Yes. So, but yeah.
You can give prediction like arc line, lifeline. Understand?
Yeah.
Those
Planets also we
predictions,
can
yeah,
see.
you
Yeah.
can give,
Exactly.
but you cannot cast a birth chart. Why, you may ask? Why? Because from your thumb you can very easily identify the lagna. There are certain people who have this confusion. Okay, not in the Nadi system, but not in Briga Nadi, in other Nadi where lagna is very important. There, they don't know whether it's Scorpio or Sagittarius, Aries or Taurus, fag end. But from thumb, you are exactly able to say, you don't say anything. Okay, for example, you are having confusion, Scorpio or Sagittarius, you are coming and asking me, sir, what is my lagna? But you are not telling, can you please tell? I am taking your thumb, and if I tell Sagittarius, then your mind is relieved, right? In the 12 lagna, I
Yes.
am very easily able to tell Sagittarius, and you are a dude Scorpio or Sagittarius. Understand? So,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
also person who doesn't have date of birth. For him also we can put all
Exactly.
the lagna, birth chart, everything we can cast. Correct. So those
Yes.
advantages this was providing. So for a very long time I want to learn. Then I went and I met him. So he just took my hand pulse and he told you are this nakshatra and 27 or 28 years have been passed and you are on
Okay.
this bhumi and this is your vatam or pittam, like that he told. I was very shocked. Then I took my
Yeah.
friend. Okay, I thought maybe it's a guess. For my friend, he told you are Rogini Nakshatra. It is like 32 years on this earth. Then we are very shocked. How is that? You forget years, but how is that you are able to tell Nakshatra also from the
Nakshatra. Yeah.
pulse? Then he told, see, in
Mm.
those days in the king's court, the astrologer was also astronomer and a Siddha doctor. He used to have the knowledge of the sky as well as the body. Okay. Then only he
Mm-hmm.
can be an astrologer because if you say something wrong, the king will kill you immediately. Rajakopam,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but today, unfortunately, there is no regularization of this subject. So there are a lot of quacks in the subject.
Yeah.
Even if you know for something, if you put a simple rule in Facebook, they'll come and tell wrong. They will become Parashari Munis. They will judge you. Understand?
Exactly.
But I will never go and
Yeah.
comment anything negative on anybody's chart because he always believe somebody might know more than us. If it is basically fundamentally wrong against the basics, we can say, is there any explanation for this? Could you please let us know? When you have that
Exactly.
openness to learn, humbleness, you will prosper. Otherwise, what happens? They'll see some two videos of somebody or somebody else until he is a big lineage and you are. So what I am saying that one person has seen only one state, he has not seen other state, and I have also not seen other
Exactly.
state. Only when you interchange, you have that openness, you will learn. Otherwise, you will not
Exactly.
learn. For example, a very simple rule in Nadis we have, like for example, there is one Nadi, Ishwar Nadi, 10 planets in 4th house. Okay, whatever might be your lagna, your profession is spoiled, sannyasi yogam. Understood?
Mm.
So like that, many things are there. So then I asked him, I want to learn this at any cost. Then he told it will
Yes.
take you almost 1.5 years for you to learn. You have to come at least some 40-50 classes. We started in 2017 and half completed. And then 2019 end, this Corona started.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the journey stopped in the halfway. Then again I went and I completed. And now even if I just see a person's face, I'll be able to relate the planets in the chart. And if I see his
Okay.
chart directly in my hand in present of me, very easily I can put his chart. Understand?
Yeah.
So
Nice.
like that, that is the reason I told the word pulse. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like that, Nadi Palmistry also has its own significance. Some part of the video, if possible, I'll try to upload in YouTube also. Okay, we had an introduction to them that I'll try to upload also. And
Mm.
like I said, this is how this Nadi. Why now you would understand why it is called pulse, why it is called breath, right? And it is a
Yeah.
form
Yes,
of
sir.
astrology practiced in Tamil Nadu based on the past, present, and future of all humans were foreseen by sages of ancient India. There is another view also, means today everybody is house will be able to find Panchangam. But
Yes.
if you go back 500 years before and all,
Mm.
Panchangam was not there in everybody's house. It will be there only in astrologer's house. Okay. If you
Yes.
go back even further, like 1500 years before and all, the Raja and these astrologers, every day they used to cast the planetary position and they used to write the palams. For this planetary position, this is the palam. For this planetary position, this is the palam. Like every day, this will keep changing, right? They used to write
Yeah.
that. All this become like one big voluptudes. Okay. So these
Mm.
voluptudes were safely preserved in the Saraswati Mahal and they were put into action and later it was taken by these Vallavan caste people and they were taught how to read these palm leaves. So whenever you go to there, just like how you have these books in the library, A section, B, C, D, they arrange, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
similarly, they will take your thumb impression. For that impression, Komalangi, like the different reggae they will be able to identify. So, okay, for this reggae, this is the volatility, they will go and pick. In that volatility, already the prediction is written by the sages. Understand? That is the reason they are
Yes.
able to tell you accurately the result. They are merely translators.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, this is another theory which is there. Okay, and the formula behind that we slowly decoded and we got it. Okay, that with the generational knowledge. So many rishis have written this knowledge. Kagabujandar, Sadasiva Nadi, Sambasiva Nadi, Ishvara Nadi, Kapila Nadi, like that many things are there. Okay, but any Nadi astrologer will give first importance and prayers to say Agastya. In medicine also Agastya holds prime. In Samadhi also Agastya holds prime. In Siddha also Agastya holds prime. And in astrology also Agastya is prime importance. Even Panchapakshi
Yes.
Shastra also there is a version of Agastya. Though we commonly teach Kaga Bhujandars, but Agastya Panchapakshi Shastra is also there. Okay.
Hmm. Yes.
And this Nadi palm leaves readings are famous by practitioners around Vaidishwaran temple. Like I told, the people from Valluvan caste, okay, those people went and took those things from the Saraswati Mall. Then they went to the Brahmin community or the astrologers who had this knowledge. From there, they learned the art of interpretation and basic astrology knowledge also they have learned these days. And that is how this Vadishwaran temple become famous. But now, in the past 100 or 150 years, this all thing is lost. What they are having is only the duplicate version. Hardly one or two people are having the original palm leaves. Okay.
Yes. Mm. Yeah.
So, fine.
It's
So, any
sad.
doubt till here for you?
No, sir. Good thing that first thing I understood that you really wants to learn something, and that's really great that you learned Nadi also. So because of you guys, we are getting to know these things. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
there's a lot of sacrifice from your side. That's really appreciable, sir.
Thank you so much. Because thirst for knowledge is only will make you to learn. Okay, if you
Exactly.
the moment you think you know everything, there the you are closing all the doors. Knowledge will not come. Okay, the moment you think
Exactly.
no, what I learned is only one drop. I want to fill it more. Then you will learn from everyone, younger to you, elder to you, everyone. You will keep learning. That is how we can better ourselves.
That is what I also thinking. So exactly same. Yeah.
So they locate the palm leaves based on the thumb impression, right for men and left for women. Okay, and nadi leaves were initially stored in the premises of Tanjavur Saraswati Mahal, like I said before. Some leaves were destroyed and remaining were auctioned during the British ruling. Those leaves were obtained by the families of astrologers, that is Vallavan caste, and passed on to one generation to another generation. Hundreds of nadis exist, but the nadis which are complete by themselves and which you can go and make further research, such nadis details I will be telling here. So Shiva Nadi is there. So it's a conversation between the Lord Shiva and his consort, Lord Parvati Devi. Okay. And Jiva Nadi and Ajiva Nadi, these are the two nadis. Name itself indicates Jiva Nadi means like this Mantra Nadi, Tantra Nadi and all, they will be there. The moment you go to the internal side and all, it is very famous.
Hmm.
If you go to them, they will give you an Olachudi. Automatically, the letters will appear in that Olachudi, the palm leaf. It will, this is your name, this is your father's name, this is what you are doing currently, the job, like that it will come. Okay, and after that, the
Okay.
letters will disappear. These are Mantra Nadis and Tantra Nadis. After some times, what
Hmm.
happens, right? The some certain Olachudis, the leaf also will burn. And the funny thing here is, the Olachudi language will also come in a language which you know. For example, you are a Teluguite, it will
Oh.
come in Telugu.
Oh. Okay.
Uh, but
Nice.
this kind of knowledge also there is a dangerous thing is also there.
Exactly.
Why?
Hmm.
Because it is actually practiced with the help of Shudra Devata. Okay, so there will be a
Ah.
Shudra Devata on which you will meditate and you will try to get the influence. So the moment he asks you to do some remedy or pariyara kandam, if you go against your wish, there is a possibility you may be attacked in a different way from the person. Understand? So
Ah.
there is
Yes.
that,
Okay.
unless and until you know the person or you go to a person who's having a good relationship with them, it is maybe for curiosity sake you can go and come. Otherwise, we have to try to avoid this knowledge. Okay, so there are
Exactly. Yes.
positives
Yes.
and negatives always there. So, like I said,
Hmm.
Jiva Nadi and Ajiva Nadi, they are also known as Abhyasa Nadi, and our Brigunandi Nadi and all is this Ajiva Nadi only. Okay. Again,
Hmm.
in Jiva Nadi we have Mantra Nadi and Tantra Nadi, and in Mantra Nadi there are thousand and one some 1 lakh charts are there. So, as I said, Saptarishi Nadi, this will change from time to time and from place to place. Okay. But this Saptarishi, what I have taken is, these are the people who have been there in that Saptarishi Nadi GOML book. For example, each Lagnam, Okay, each lagnam is having around 2000 chart combinations. Like that, there are 12 lagnams, and for which already predictions have been written. For 6 lagnam, already they were translated up to Kanya Lagna, and it is there in GOML Chennai. So, in the that is Government Oriental Manuscript Library. In the entrance itself, they are written in the top floor library. One of the foreigner came and he saw his this I don't know Mesha Rishabha Lagnam, and all the same as his birth chart, that combination chart was there, and whatever result was written, it exactly tallied in his life, like that. Understood?
Okay,
So
nice.
like that
Yes.
we are also able to find. So I have said 5, it is not the 5, up to Kanya also is available. So before pre-COVID, that curator told me like they will convert to 12 also, but after this COVID and all, I think work got stopped. So they had a plan of converting all 12 lagnas and digitalize and put it in the online so that everybody can access, like that they told. But now I don't know like what is the progress, because I am slightly busy with my work and taking classes and all. So yeah, if time permits, let me check and I'll get back. So what is the progress on that?
Okay. Yeah.
And like I said, there are different other nadis like Kagabujandar Nadi, Brahma Nadi, Murga Nadi, Shakti Nadi, Ganesha Nadi, Nandi Nadi, Jiva Nadi, and Dhruva Nadi, Sukra Nadi,
Hmm.
and Kapila Nadi, Ishwara Nadi, Sani Nadi, and Kamalamuni Nadi. Kamalamuni Nadi is the one which gives you the knowledge on palmistry, Nadi palmistry. Okay.
Okay.
And Brigu and Nandi Nadi, as I already told, it was combined, and that is how this Brigu Nandi Nadi came into existence. And some nadis from here, Tamil Nadu, some people came and studied. They, here and there, something got scattered in those days, and those are called as like Brigu Samhita in Punjab and in northern part.
Hmm.
Then again, we have Chandrakala Nadi or Deve Kerlam, which of course is not the scope of our study, because Chandrakala Nadi, of course, I ventured some time onto it, some 3.5 years. Then I gave up. It is very difficult to comprehend and to make it into practicality. As of now, it is not possible. Maybe now with this chat GPT, artificial intelligence and all, it may become a
Yeah, we
reality in
can.
the future. Okay. So
I
for
also
the
saw this Chandra Kalanadi. It's so many amshas are there now, sir.
correct,
For
correct.
every 48 seconds,
Correct,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can even go up to 24 seconds, which is practically impossible to pick up. Understand?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
and Chandrakala Nadi, so the translation we have of Santanam, and it was initially done by two Kerala authors, Achutaya and Venkatesha. Okay.
Hmm.
So the longitude of Amsha, like I said, if it is a movable sign, it will go from the beginning, and a sign is divided into 150 parts, and these 150
Yeah.
parts are not of equal length. Some might be big and some might be small. Fixed sign means it will come
Yeah.
in reverse. Okay, from the last degree, it will come to the beginning degree, 150 parts. In dual sign, it will begin at the 76th part and go up to 150. Then again, it will come from 1 and it will go up to 75. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
like that,
Yeah.
the amshas are there. It is actually the 150th part of a sign. If you are talking about D60, this is like a 150 part. Okay, or
Yeah.
48
Exactly.
48 seconds. Again, this
Mm.
48 second also they are dividing into two parts called Purvartha and Uttarartha. That is 24 seconds of time. That is the reason I
Mm.
told practically it is difficult to get into such kind of minute, unless and until we are now this chat GPT and all is coming. We can feed all these amshas into that, and maybe we can do trial and error and do but time rectification. After that, we can pick whether it is Kokya amsha or whatever it is. Then we will be able to give the prediction. But as on today,
Yeah.
I gave up. Like as I said, 2.5 to 3 years I did. But then I thought there are many other things to concentrate and improve our knowledge. This as of now will give up the project.
Exactly. Yeah. Makes sense, sir.
And next we have the planets and gender. Of course, this is important in a way, like to give remedy, or in Vara Sastra to say whether the thief was male or a female, or like in identifying the Kuladaivam in Prashna Sastra, whether it's a male deity or a female deity, like that many things are there. So some differences from traditional system to here it might be there, but yeah. So the Sun, the Mars, and the Jupiter are the male planets, and the Moon and Venus and Rahu are the female planets. The Mercury, Saturn, and Ketu are the eunuch planets.
Hmm.
This may not be applicable as on today, but because it was there in the Nadi literature I have given here, the Jupiter and Venus are the Brahmins, the Sun and the Mars are the Kshatriyas, the Moon is Vaishya, Mercury is mixed, Saturn is Shudra, Rahu is Muslim. This sometimes can be useful again for identifying the nature of the person, okay, to whom you may get help, or what kind of a job you may ideally do. For example, Saturn plus Jupiter will give you teaching, preaching, or any financial transaction. So this teaching, preaching, and all is a Brahmanical job those days, right?
Yes.
So like that we can
Yeah.
involve, but yeah, now we have very better and different ways of analyzing a chart. But as I said earlier, okay, I don't want to skip anything, so I given this information as well.
Hmm.
And Ketu is Christian, Saturn, Rahu are Menials, Mars, Rahu 6, Mercury and Ketu are Bengalis. Just for the sake of information, you take it. We don't use it much in the prediction. This thing.
Okay.
Now this is very important. This is how like the medical astrology, the appearance of a person, and just seeing the face, what can be the planetary combinations in a person's chart, or seeing the planetary combinations and analyzing how the person will look like. All this is indicated by these planets only. Okay. So in that,
Yes.
the right eye or the eyes are generally given by the luminaries because they give out light. So in the morning the sun emits the light, the night the moon emits the light. Though scientifically it is reflecting only sun's light, but for our eyes apparently we see the moon is giving the light. So right eye
Yeah.
is indicates the sun, the left eye is moon. Any affliction to both the luminaries definitely will give some kind of eye defect. Okay. And eyebrow is
Exactly.
Mars. You may ask why eyebrow. Eyebrow means it is protecting the eyes. So anything that is protective or covering or defensive, okay, all those things will be given to Mars because Mars is the Senadipati who defends. Okay.
Hmm.
And forehead is given by Mercury, and nostrils is Jupiter, and cheeks is Venus, chin, right and left part of chin governed by Saturn, and mouth is Rahu, ear is Ketu, teeth is Mars, and tongue is Mercury. Okay, so these are
Hmm.
the planetary karakas, and this, as I said, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, Sun and Mars are Pitta, that is bile or heat. Moon and Venus are Kapha, and Venus is also Kapha, but it is a Vata mixed with Kapha. Okay, and
Hmm.
Saturn is Vata. That is the reason we have this joint pain, gastric trouble, all those things. And Mercury is combination of all this Vatam, Vidam, and Kapham.
Okay.
So now we will move into fundamentals of Nadi astrology. First thing we have to clear from our mind is we have to forget whatever Parashari astrology we have learnt. Why? Because here we may learn certain things contradictory. Means it is not contradictory to the subject of astrology. It is contradictory to the other system. Understood? So
Yeah.
everything is
Yes, sir.
astrology, but it is contradictory to the existing system which most of us learn as the in our earlier part of life. Okay. And
Yeah.
second thing is, for example, in Parashari system, the planetary karaka also will be different. Means in Parashari we will take Saturn for teeth, whereas here we will take Mars because Mars is again used for tearing and it is the hardest part in our human body. Right? Any
Hmm.
tough
Yes.
structures will be assigned to Mars. And
Yeah.
hairs in Parashari you will call Saturn, but in Nadi you will take Ketu because it looks like a tail of the snake. So and
Yeah.
similarly aspects also will vary. In a Parashari system, if you see, all planets will aspect seventh house.
Yeah.
And Rahu
Exactly.
and Ketu, there are variations. Some people will tell 3 and level, some people will tell 5 9, some people may take 7th
5-9.
aspect, or some people will tell there
Right.
is no aspect at all. Again, in Nadi, there is
Hmm.
a variation for this. That also we will see.
Okay.
And again, in Parashari, Saturn and Jupiter and Mars have special aspects. Means, apart from the 7th house, what Jupiter will aspect 5 and 9. And Saturn will
Hmm.
aspect 3 and 10, and Mars will aspect 4th and 8 apart from the 7th aspect. So this is the
Exactly.
natural aspects in Parashara system.
Parashari.
But those things we have to remove out of our mind. And secondly,
Hmm.
in Parashari system there is something called as benefic planet and malefic planet. Natural benefic and natural malefic. But
Yes.
here in Nadi there is nothing called as natural benefic or natural malefic. Means
Mhm.
if a planet is supporting its karaka, it is beneficial if they are friends. If a planet is against its karaka, it's his enemy. Understand? This is the fundamental
Mhm.
law of Nadi. Okay. Based on that only the entire Nadi system will work. Here there is no natural benefic or natural malefic and all. Okay. And there the enmity and friendship is given on rule of satyachara. Okay, here
Mm-hmm.
it is not like that. Here it is based on the karaka, which of course I will explain to you why that enmity is given. Because you should not buy it like a formula. Understand? You
Yeah.
should know this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the reason it has come. And this karakas also you should not buy it. If I say anything, you should be able to relate. Okay, these are the descriptions Sir gave us in the class. So I will apply these
Mm.
descriptions to the existing object or a animal or a human being or anything, and I'll say this part belongs to this planet. That is how we will be able to give predictions. Okay, that
Yes.
is also very
100%.
very important. And as I said
Mm.
earlier, in Parashara system, you use Varga Chakra or you don't use Varga Chakra, but definitely ascendant is the core of the chart. Because only with ascendant we will be able to understand the Lagnadipati, the Yoga Karaka, the Maraka, the Badaka, right? All
Exactly.
those
Yeah.
things will come. Otherwise, those things will never come into existence. And for timing of events, there we are using the Dasha, the Bhukti, everything. But
Yeah.
here,
Yeah. Further.
what happens is we are not using ascendant, but to know the nature of a person, if he is a male, we are taking Jupiter. The person is a female, we are taking Venus.
Venus.
And to
Mm.
know his good and bad times, we are using transits and progression instead of Dasha or Bhukti.
Mm.
So these many differences are there in this thing. And finally, one more thing also we have to say. In Parashari, if I say conjunction, Sun and Moon are there in Mesha Rashi, we will take Sun plus Moon. But if Sun is in Mesha Rashi and Moon is there in Rishabha Rashi, we will not take it as conjunction. Whereas in Nadi, we will take that also as conjunction. Understand?
Okay.
So their
Mm-hmm.
conjunction is different, here conjunction is different. Why is that so? I will of course discuss that. But these are their things. So now let us get into the fundamentals of this Nadi. The characteristics of respective planets. Like I said, the karaka of each planet is very very important. That is what will determine the result. And
Mm.
their directional aspect. If a planet is in eastern direction, if any other planet is in eastern direction also, it will be taken as conjunction. Means
Mm.
trines are very very important. Why? Because trines represent the same direction, and the seventh house
Exactly.
will represent the opposite direction. So these things are very very important. We will see that in the coming classes. And the sign in which the respective planets are posited. For example, Ketu sitting in Mesha Rashi will not be the same as sitting in Simha Rashi, or same Ketu sitting in Dhanu Rashi will not be the same. For example, now Saturn is sitting in Ruchika
Okay.
Rashi with Ketu. Saturn is
Okay.
sitting with Ketu in Dhanu Rashi. But the Saturn is heavily afflicted, and this person will feel the negative results of Saturn Ketu if it is Ruchika Rashi. Why? Because Ketu gets exalted in Ruchika Rashi. Whereas in Jupiter's house, that Saturn will not have that much of affliction. Why? Because that Saturn is having friendship with Jupiter, and Jupiter is coming to aid of that Saturn. So Rashi also will matter. Okay, the
Mm.
Tattva also
Mm.
will matter. Okay, whether it's a Agni Tattva or Vayu Tattva, all those things also will matter. And
Yes.
in Bhrigunandi Nadi, we will take connection if a planet is in 159, 3711 and 212. Okay, if it is in
Mm.
any of these houses, we will say the planet is connected. But of course, a planet in 159 will be very strong compared to a planet in 1 and 11. Understood? So what is the difference? What is the percentage? If a planet is forming 159 connection, if a planet is forming 17 connection, if a planet is forming 13 connection, what are the percentage of the strength? How to quantify them? All those things I will discuss. Okay, that you
Okay.
need not worry.
Mm.
And as I said, a planet will improve the Karaka if it is having connection with the friendly planet, and its Karaka will destroy it if it is having connection with insimal planet. This is the fundamental base. So these things are very very important from our Nadi perspective. So any doubt?
Yeah, no, sir. Only one doubt is like, as you said about conjunction,
Hmm.
because we are considered trines and also the directions for trines is
Uh-huh.
as one conjunction.
Hmm.
And also, if 212 is also with respect, is also conjunction.
That is because very
Therefore,
simple. People sitting next to you will they be able to influence you? For example, you are driving a
exactly,
bike.
yes.
You will be very
Mm-hmm.
cautious who is in front of you, and then you will adjust your speed accordingly. Correct. So that
Yeah, yeah.
becomes the second dose. And sometimes while taking this left or right or overtaking, you will also see in the mirror who's behind you. Correct. but that you will not see very frequently. Only the person in front you are very much aware, right? Only if you want to
Yes,
take
yes.
a left or right turn, you will see the mirror frequently. So that is the reason that the 12th house planet is also important. Okay, but not that much compared to the planet in front. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and similarly,
Minus.
like that, we have for different planetary position, different reasons that I will explain to you. Why you are taking all these things, I will explain it. But what a planet in Nadi will get connected to another planet only if it is in 159, 3, 7, 11, 2, 12. It will not get connected to that planet if it is in 4, 6, 8, or 10.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the fundamental. With this fundamental,
Then,
further.
for example, in a chart, if at all one planet is connected to 2, 12, 1, 5, 9, 7, also 3, 7, 11, for example, then all the planets, for example, all the 8 planets or 9 planets will be affecting that house or that planet.
For
And how
example,
can we take the results, sir?
for example, you will ask, sir, let us assume you are saying 1, 5, 9, 3, 7, 11, 2, 12. If I take, for example, Jupiter, if all other 8 planets are getting connected, then how to give the result, you might ask. Okay, for
Yeah.
that is the reason we are going to take degrees. Degree wise, we will arrange the planet. Whichever planet is
Okay.
coming immediately, that will be the primary affector. Rest of the things will play only the supporting role.
Okay. Okay.
Understand? And the secondary thing, there also not all planet will come. If Rahu is coming for a planet, Ketu will not come. Understand?
Obviously. Yeah.
So
Yes.
that is also is there. Then degree wise arrangement will give us more about this, and also like I said, the whether it's in 159 or it's in 7 or 311, that variation will also try to give the change in the result. Okay.
Okay.
So those things I will teach
For
you.
example, sir, for example, Jupiter is there in Mesha Rashi. Consider that way,
Uh,
and then it is in 19 degrees, and then there is one more planet, consider Mercury, which is in 27 degrees in the same Mesha Rashi. And then from Mesha Rashi, fifth house will be Leo. So in the Leo there is Sun, and which is 20 degrees. So now can I take as Sun and Jupiter got combusted?
No, you cannot take it as a combustion. Why? Because that the distance is far. Okay. Combustion for Sun and Jupiter, there are degrees defined for each planet. From Sun, if in this much degrees Jupiter is there, this much degrees Mercury is there, this much degree Venus is there. But we will not go into that degrees. Ideally, what you take any planet within 3 degrees of Sun, you take it as combustion in Nadi. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now that is conjunction by trines, but it is combustion will come only if they are in the same house.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But though Jupiter is after Mercury, but we will not say Jupiter, Mercury, Sun. We will only say Jupiter, Sun, and Mercury.
Mercury. Okay.
So
And then the results will be changing based on
results will
because
be
of this.
changing because Jupiter plus Mercury will make one funny, witty, like they always have that humorous nature like that. But
Yeah.
Jupiter plus Sun plus Mercury, they always expect respect, slightly egoistic. Okay, it is very difficult to take any work from them. They don't want to bend and work, but they are willing. They are happy to give instructions. Okay,
Yes.
they are capable of making 10 people to work. So you see, there which was a joyful nature, which was like very humorous, childish. Here it's something more matured and more ego. Everything is involved. Understood?
Exactly. Okay.
And this
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
will also be more attached to the father, or he is going to get some kind of help from the father, or one of the persons in the family will be in government job. Understand? So
Yes.
automatically the predictions will vary.
Okay.
So that we will see degree wise how to arrange everything. I will definitely teach you. So I'll go to the next slide. So in the next slide,
Yeah.
here only I given the basic parameters. There are lot of karakas which of course we will be dealing in this course. Okay.
Yeah.
Now basically if you see Saturn is karma or
Yeah.
profession,
Correct.
and Mars is the Deya Karaka or husband, and Venus is the wife or the female native, and Jupiter is the Jiva Karaka, and Sun is Atma Karaka, and Moon is Mana Karaka, Mercury is Vidya Karaka. Okay, just the
Yeah.
basic briefings. Okay, so more and more complicated we'll see in the coming slides. Okay,
Yes.
so this is what I told. This is directional chart. Okay, here we are not bothered about any lagna, anything, whatever it might be. These directions will never change. Any planet, let
Yes.
it be anywhere. Always Aries will be east, and trains from Aries will be east. That is Siva
East.
Rashi and Dhanu
All the
Rashi.
fiery signs. Yeah.
Again, Taurus will be south. Then train to Taurus is Virgo, that will be south. Another train to Virgo is Capricorn, that will be south. And Mithuna Rashi will be west. Libra will be west, and Aquarius also will be west. Then we have this Leo, what is that? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. All these
Yes.
watery signs are northern direction. Okay.
Yeah.
So any planets in these trains, we will take it as conjunction.
Hmm.
For example, if a planet is there in Mithuna Rashi, and if it is there in Libra, and it is also there in Aquarius, Aquarius, then we will take all these three planets to be together. Understand? Which is not the case in the Parashari system.
Yes.
But based on the degrees, we will arrange it. That is also important.
Hmm.
Okay. Sun and Moon never retrograde. This always we should know because they are luminaries. Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde.
Always retrograde.
And
Yes.
retrograde planets will have an important aspect on the 12th house. Okay. What is that? I will explain it to you. Okay. Need not worry. But just understand. For example, Jupiter is in Mesha Rashi for you. Let us assume. If it is retrograde, it will concentrate more on Meena Rashi.
Yes, because it is going to be in Rashi. Yeah, okay.
Okay. And Mercury never moves beyond 28 degrees, not 18 degrees, 28 degrees from the Sun. Venus never moves beyond 47.5 degrees from the Sun. That means it will be within 3 Rashis and Mercury will be within 2 Rashis from Sun. Understand? And
Yeah.
Moon never gets combusted. We only call it as Amavasya. Here we don't consider Lagna and Dasha Bhukti. Events are timed on transit of the major planets, that is Saturn, which takes 30 months, and Jupiter, which takes 12 months,
Takes
and Rahu and
months
Ketu,
and
which takes 18 months in a
18 months.
Rashi. Okay. In Nadi, the planetary aspects are completely different from that of Parashari system, as I said. And Parashari is 7th aspect, which I already discussed. So all these things we already discussed, right? How to take direction.
Yes, sir.
More than one planet, more than 3 planets. These are the things we need to discuss. That we will discuss. And okay, so that we need to discuss with the help of an iPad. So then the next class, what I will do is, first off, I will take in the iPad, 9 to 9:30.
Yeah.
There I'll put the chart. I'll teach you the directions. I'll put the 3 or 4 planets, how to arrange degree wise, like that I'll teach. Then from 9:30 to 10, we'll come back here and we'll study the how the enemies and friends, Karakas, how they are designed. Those things I'll explain. Okay, so that we'll do. So I'll stop at this stage. So you ask me if you are having any doubt. So let me take this recording so that I can upload by tomorrow.